Hello everyone. Today is going to be a very special video. This is dedicated to Dr. Crystal and to Claude, who have done tremendous work to share with you their experience in Cartagena, Colombia. I also traveled to Cartagena, Colombia, and we all three traveled there at different times. So I just want to welcome you to my channel. This is Fly Like Me, PhD with Dr. Maya. I encourage Black women to live or travel abroad, and I have traveled to 45 countries and I have lived in 6. So it is about to be 46 countries, y'all, in August for my birthday, Leo season. Leos, please stand up. We already are standing, spotlight and whatnot. Anyway. And I would be honored to come back to you all and tell you I've been to 46 countries. So today's conversation is going to be about Colombia. As you know, I love to show you my shirts because my shirts speak to people. So this is the shirt I got in Colombia. So Claude, Dr. Crystal, and myself all went to Cartagena, Colombia, and we went at different times. Dr. Crystal went in May of 2025, so just last month. Claude went in February of 2025, a few months ago, and I visited in May of 2022, a few years ago. So Dr. Crystal was the one that was there most recently, just a month ago. Claude was there a few months ago and I was there a few years ago. So we really wanted to give you all this video to tell you about our experiences. First, I want to tell you all about Dr. Crystal. So I met Dr. Crystal through another YouTuber. Shout out to Marissa Price Heels. And we had a conversation on Marissa's channel and Dr. Crystal was in that chat. And I'm like, who is this person? So I do like I always do to Marissa. I'm like, can you introduce me? And since then, Dr. Crystal has become a colleague and a friend. And she is in my YouTube group where we chat about things that we want to talk about. She's also been on my channel before 2 times now. Thank you, Dr. Crystal, coming through. And she has her own channel. You all should check out her channel because she talks about sabbatical life. She's been on sabbatical and she's been bopping around the world, y'all. She's been to Panama, she's been to Spain, she's been to Colombia. So if you want information about travel abroad, if you want healing from the academic life, if you want to know how to do well and be successful as an academic, you need to see Dr. Crystal's channel. Her channel will be linked in the description box. Next, I gotta tell y'all about Claude. Okay, Claude, exceptional human being. We met through Exodus Summit where I said the charging statement about Dominican Republic and how it can be colorist, texturist, and anti-Black. Claude is from Haiti, and so she has a lot of information about the dynamic historically between the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Still today, some conflict there. She has been commenting, liking, subscribing, watching my videos, sending it out to other people, and I would say that she is my most committed follower. Shout out to you, Claude, for always holding your girl down. So what Claude has done was she actually got a souvenir while she was in Cartagena, specifically in Palenque. I'll talk more about Palenque later. And with that souvenir, she got this beautiful mask that just has so much detail. It is so incredible. And this shows you one of the potential souvenirs you could buy if you go to Cartagena. So I really wanted us to discuss this video because Claude was in Cartagena, like I said, a few months ago. And while she was there, she was constantly sending me pictures. She was telling me what she was doing. And I came up with the bright idea. I was like, let's make a video. I also have been to Cartagena. So I thought I could show me and Claude's experience in one video. So I'm like, girl, let's do it. And she said, absolutely. And so then Dr. Crystal kind of swooped in and she went to Cartagena in real time in May. And I was like, Dr. Crystal, you trying to get in on this video with me and Claude about what we have done in Cartagena? And she said, yes, yes, yes. So that's how we got this video. Also, shout out to Dr. Crystal. Both of them have provided so many pictures and so much information for you all so that you will know about their experiences in case you want to go. So first, we are going to start with Dr. Crystal, and we are talking about her experience in Cartagena. So Dr. Crystal stayed in Boca Grande. I also stayed there, and I'm going to tell you more about that. We both recommend that you stay in Boca Grande if you go to Cartagena. This is a neighborhood within Cartagena. So this place is referred to as the modern face of Cartagena. Boca Grande began its development in 1940 and has transformed into an exclusive residential zone. This area is the epicenter of Cartagena with urban development and modern buildings, apartment buildings, luxury hotels, and shopping centers. It also can be a little wealthy and a little exclusive of a neighborhood. It has skyscrapers and contemporary architecture, which really is a contrast to the colonial buildings that are very colorful in the historic center. This place is located south of the walled city. In Cartagena, there are a lot of beaches. Cartagena is known for having a lot of history and beaches. What I want you to know, though, is as a result of these beaches, a lot of tourists are interested in Cartagena. I have spoken to people that are from Cartagena, and they have mentioned that some Black Americans have caused more harm in this space than they needed to. So we need to check that passport privilege. We need to make sure we're speaking to people with respect and kindness, and that we are being good people that are immersed within the culture and not causing more harm. So Cartagena has people that live there, have people that are from there. So we shouldn't just come in having a great time as a tourist on the beach. We are still going to tell you about our beach experience, but no, Cartagena is more than that. So the beaches. Dr. Crystal went to Playa Boca Grande, which is one of the most popular beaches. There's a lot of activities. It has colorful umbrellas and it has really great vendors. And they also have golden sand on this beach. So if you like the feel of Miami, Florida, maybe Boca Grande kind of has that similar feel for you. So in Dr. Crystal's experience, she will walk on the beach early in the morning, and she advises that you do that so that you can enjoy the tranquility of the beach before a bunch of tourists end up on that beach. Dr. Crystal also went to 2 shopping malls. She went to Plaza Boca Grande Commercial Center, which has high-end stores plus really good restaurants. And she wanted me to tell y'all that if you are a foodie, if you like food, you want to know what that food do, this place, the Plaza Boca Grande, had lots of options. It had vegetarian options. It's going to have meat options. It's going to have local cuisine. So you got to check that out no matter what your budget is. Her practical advice for you is to use Uber in Cartagena. It is both affordable and it is legal. Some places Uber is illegal, but this place you could use an Uber. Finally, there were street food from the vendors that was really good. She ate arepas and also saw pastries. And so an arepa is going to be like a breaded food, and it normally is going to have cheese mixed with meat and maybe sometimes vegetables on the inside. Boca Grande also has a really incredible nightlife. You can see lots of lights and you can even watch the sunset. So for me, I was able to watch the sunset from my hotel. I was able to watch it over the balcony, and sometimes depending on what hotel you get, but in Boca Grande, you can see the sun as well as you can watch the water. Very, 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 very peaceful. Crystal also visited San Basilio de Palenque, which is also shortened to Palenque. This is recognized as the first free African town in the Americas. We have to respect this place, and if you are a Black person, I highly recommend you visit this place. It's going to be 2 hours from the central city, but it is absolutely worth it, and it is going to be the Black history of Colombia. So this town is a symbol of resistance, of freedom, and the spirit of African heritage in the New World. The history is that enslaved Africans were forcibly brought to Cartagena. This is the first port where they were brought, and some of them escaped from their captors. They were very brave. They are what we would call maroons or chimarrones in Spanish. This was during the transatlantic slave trade. They were brought forcibly to Cartagena de Indias. Palenque refers to the fortified communities or the walled cities that enslaved people were able to escape to for refuge. Many places like this existed in Cartagena where folks had escaped. However, San Basilio de Palenque is the only one that has survived. This was under the leadership of the African king Bincos, who helped to create it. In 1713, the Spanish crown officially recognized this town as the first free territory for Africans in the Americas. This place has a large preservation of African cultures and traditions, despite the negative colonial influences and the challenges. The people that live here are called Palenqueros, and they have a language that they have a Creole. It is a Spanish-based Creole that they created. It combines Spanish vocab with grammar from Bantu languages in West Africa. Music and dance is integral to the Palenquero way of life. So similar to how in the diaspora, the African diaspora, music is so fundamental, in dance. Even in the US, music and dance is always a turn up. I learned in Nigeria, they have a dance for everything. A dance for happiness when someone is born, a dance for sadness when someone dies. So culturally, across the world, globally, for Black people, music and dance is very integral to our culture, and it is the same way in the Palenque. And they have Afro-Caribbean rhythms within their music. They also use drums to communicate and for resistance. They have an annual festival of drums and cultural expressions. This is a major event, and it celebrates their heritage. San Basilio de Palenque was declared a masterpiece of oral and intangible history by UNESCO in 2005, the Heritage of Humanity. This is a testament to the importance in Colombia and in the world through the triumphs and the struggles of people of African descent. So we are so happy that this place exists. We are so happy that it is being recognized. This is not just a historical site. This is a community that celebrates its heritage and inspires resilience and self-determination. This is the African diaspora's legacy. So next, I wanted to mention to you all a place called Gestemani. Crystal went to the Plaza de la Trinidad, which is called the heartbeat of Gestemani. It kind of has a bohemian feel, colorful colonial buildings, and incredible street art. This is a central gathering place for locals as well as tourists. So Crystal ate here for dinner, and she also met up with a photographer. So a lot of the pictures that you will see when I introduce Crystal's name in this video and in our thumbnail are pictures she took with her photographer. She looked so great. I mean, Crystal was giving it to you, baby. She giving you style. She giving you pose. She's giving you beauty. She's giving you outfit. Okay, Crystal is posing down. Okay, model-esque. We love to see that. So around Plaza de la Trinidad is stunning murals and graffiti. There is rich history and it is an artistic spirit. There's street food, which was a major highlight that Crystal saw. Vendors that would set up their carts. They had arepas, they had empanadas, and they had plantains and Colombian snacks. There sometimes were impromptu dance parties and live musical with cultural performances. So we would recommend that you all check this space out as well. I went here too, and so did Claude. This is one place that all three of us went to. I mentioned to you all I wasn't able to go to Palenque. I was only there for 5 days, but both Crystal and Claude went there. So this is from their experience, but all of us were able to go to Gestamani. So we could tell you about that. When Crystal was there, she loved watching people while she was sitting on the bench and she was soaking in the ambiance. So here's the history. Plaza de la Trinidad played a crucial role in Colombia's struggle for independence. The Declaration of Independence occurred in 1811 and it was led by Pedro Romero. Crystal also had lunch and dinner at a local restaurant near the plaza. It served both Colombian cuisine as well as other dishes such as salmon and pasta. But she said that salmon and pasta was fire. Okay, we had a live about Cartagena, Colombia, about how good the food is in Cartagena, Colombia, y'all. Y'all got to eat the food if you go there. The last thing she wanted you to know is that she went shopping for souvenirs and accessories and highly recommends that you visit. She also took some pictures of some incredible artwork of Black women that was on the wall. So definitely check out the presence of Black people in the space when you visit Cartagena. So Crystal, way to go. Loved all the information that you provided about your experience there. Now we are going to move over to Claude. Claude was also in Cartagena in February of 2025 and she stayed in Gestamani. She would highly recommend that you stay there. So remember, Crystal and I stayed in Boca Grande, but Claude stayed in Gestamani. Okay, so these are the two places we're recommending that you all stay, neighborhoods if you visit Cartagena. The area was walking distance from the historical sites. She saw a lot of modern high-rises too. A recommendation that she has for you, which is going to be similar to Crystal's recommendation, is that you take an Uber or a taxi to get to tourist attractions. You can choose which one you want to use. So that you know, in Colombia, they have an app that's called InDriver, and that is their local taxi app. And in that, you will agree upon a price that you want to be charged for the ride. So what you do is you talk to the locals in Colombia and you ask them, how much does it cost to get to Boca Grande? And they'll tell you it should only be X amount of pesos. And then you're going to type that into InDriver. And if people overcharge you, you're not going to take that ride. And if it's exactly what you wanted, you take that ride. And if it's cheaper than what you expected, you get that ride. Okay, so make sure that you're looking at the different prices for the rides and that you pay attention, because sometimes the ride is going to pop up and it's going to be higher than the amount that you want to pay. But in the middle, they'll sometimes have your asking the rate that you asked for. And then at the bottom, it will have rides that are cheaper. Okay, so you can use InDriver or you can use Uber, or you can just call a taxi when they're like parked outside of the mall. There will be taxis outside of the mall and you could just ask them to take you where you need to go. So Claude recommends that you take a tour of the city to see the attractions in the walled city. I also recommend this whenever you're traveling abroad. Try to get a tour around the city on your first or second day, because it will help you familiarize yourself with that city and that area. Really quick way to start learning streets, to start seeing landmarks by taking a tour, walking tour, bus tour, just as soon as you get there. So the tour is going to allow you to see that city much quicker, and maybe even places that you won't be able to see throughout the trip. So she also visited Museo de Arte, the art museum, and she said there was a floor dedicated to African art, and she has some of the pictures of the things that she saw. So please make sure that you are headed to the art museum within Cartagena and that you see that African art. It is incredible. Then she spoke about Castillo de San Felipe. It is a fortress that was created by the Spaniards to protect the city. Another thing that Claude was able to see was Puertas de las Dulces. This is another place that she visited while she was in the city, and you can find stalls of sweet snacks in the city. So if you got a sweet tooth, if you like candy and sweets, this is where you need to go. She said you'll be tempted to bring the snacks back to your families and friends. So one thing I learned from a friend is that you can actually bring back snacks from the country, and people will love that. Bring back chips, bring back cookies, bring back candies, and then it gives them a piece of the culture to taste something in another culture, and it won't take up so much room in your luggage. So definitely you want to try to do that, because it gives people like a connection to the culture and the taste of things abroad. So Claude's two favorite activities were those that were outside of the city limits. One of them was visiting the Palenque. Remember, I told you it's 2 hours from the central city in Cartagena. And I did not go there, but Crystal did go there, and so did Claude, and they have information about that. Her experience was going to be similar to Crystal's. She was able to see the Palenque. She saw the community surrounding the Afro-Colombian people and their culture. Another thing was that she was able to see murals. And even though this place is pronounced Palenque, there is the word P-A-L-E-N-G-E, as you can see in the picture from the murals, which is the way that they would say that using that Spanish Creole that I talked about earlier. Another place that Claude was able to go to was Mangroves of La Boquilla. This is about 25 minutes away from the city. That's Mangroves of La Boquilla. Claude really enjoyed being in nature, learning about the importance of preserving the ecosystem for the community and learning about the different species that thrive there. So she recommends you check out the mangroves. And Crystal had also mentioned something about the mangroves as well. So this seems like a place that you all should check out. I was not able to go to the mangroves, but they have both recommended that to you. If you are having a good time, we're talking about Cartagena, we're talking about Colombia, why don't you give me a like right now? Like the video right now. So finally, I am going to tell you about my experience in Cartagena. I was there in 2022 in May, and I was there for 5 days. So I don't have as much information to give you all about my experience as Crystal and as Claude. So I stayed in Boca Grande. I really liked it. I will highly recommend it. And I took a bus tour and I was able to see parts of the city. I saw Boca Grande Beach. I didn't go to that beach though, but I would say that it looked incredible, just as Dr. Crystal had mentioned. There was a point in time too when I was able to spend the day in Hestamani, and I was able to see the Parque del Centenario while I was there. So this was really nice in order to see like historical buildings, to walk around. I took a lot of pictures while I was there, and I went on a tour that was completely in Spanish, and I was super happy about that. I also took a picture of the museum with the Afro art that Claude mentioned, but I wasn't able to go into the museum due to time constraints. But after seeing the pictures that Claude took, I'm like, I want to head to that museum next time. So I have an exciting goal that I would like for myself. You all know that I'm trying to move to Colombia next year. And when I go and visit Cartagena, I would like to go and see that museum. So some of the historic architect was really incredible. I told you I got to see so many tall buildings, just walking around, seeing the locals and having a good time. I even saw this really tall door and I just felt compelled to take a picture of it. Sometimes I get a little obsessed with doors and will take pictures of random doors. It doesn't matter, but I really like that door too. So if you have an opportunity to walk around Cartagena and take a tour, I would highly recommend this because you could see some really cool and historical sites. So I was not able to go to the Palenque. That is my biggest regret. I did not know that it was 2 hours away, but while I was in Boca Grande, while I stayed there, I was able to take a picture with the palenqueros. So what you will notice with the palenqueros is they normally will have an incredibly long and stylish dress, and it often is going to have the colors of red, yellow, and blue representing the Colombia flag. So these women look so incredible. They might have a hair wrap. They have the beautiful dresses flowing in the wind. Sometimes they'll be carrying food on their head, like a basket full of fruit. And as we know, back to the African diaspora, in African countries, people often will carry things on their head. I saw in Nigeria, so many people have things on their head. Even when I was in the airport in Ethiopia, a woman had her luggage. It was just like a tote bag that you would like maybe carry on your shoulder. She was balancing it on her head. So it is very common for people, especially people that are African descendants or people in Africa, people in Colombia, Cartagena, to have something that they're carrying on their head. Okay. And it's really cool. I love that people carry things on their head because it can really protect your back. And then the head is like the centerpiece of us. So then there's like this line, this through line from the top of your head all the way down. And so then you can be erect. You can hold back your shoulders. You can hold up your back, and you could get really good posture from carrying things on your head rather than having them on your back and being slumped over. So anyway, it was really good to see the women. In Cartagena, you will also have the opportunities to see an array of beaches, and you can go to a private beach or you can go to a public beach. So for me in particular, I went to the private beach. That's why I didn't go to Boca Grande. So what you can do is you go to the mall in Cartagena and they'll have a bunch of carts where they're advertising different tours. You can look and see which beaches you want to go to. Some beaches that are small, some beaches that are large, some that are private, some that are public, and they will give you transportation to get there. Obviously, you're going to have to pay. So we paid for the tour of a place that was a private beach. And so what we did was we spent a whole day at this private beach. The private beach also had a hotel. It had its own swimming pool. It had chairs and it had tables in addition to the beach that we could sit on. And we also were fed food at that place. So if you wanted to, they will take you on a boat to the private beach, and you can stay on the private beach overnight at the hotel that's right off the water. We didn't stay. I went with a group of friends. We came back to Boca Grande, but if you wanted to stay there overnight, you can, and they will serve you food as well. So I thought I was looking super cute. As y'all already know, I'll be thinking I'll be looking super cute. So I went ahead and took a swimsuit picture. I was feeling myself that day. But I had a really great time at the private beach. And I would recommend, if you all just want to see a private beach, just another area of water in Cartagena, you should just do a real quick tour. And you could do a day tour. So by the end of my trip, I went back to my apartment. Y'all, had a really nice apartment. It was right off the beach in Boca Grande. I really, really loved that apartment. It was had 2 bedrooms in it. It had a nice kitchen. It had a seating area. Really good accommodations in Cartagena. And after that, I was able to stand on the balcony and look over and see the incredible, captivating, and exquisite body of water. And I also watched the sunset. Overall, y'all, Dr. Crystal, myself, and Claude had a wonderful time in Cartagena. We highly recommend that you visit so that you can be connected with our diasporic brothers and sisters. And you can learn more about Black history in Colombia. Crystal and Claude, I want to thank you all for providing all of your pictures and all of the information to make this video possible. I love you both, and I'm so glad to be in community with both of you. And I really enjoy learning about your journey. And y'all taught me some stuff. I'm like, I need to go back to Cartagena. I need to go to that museum. Okay. I need to check out the mangroves. Okay. I need to go to Palenque. I'm so sorry I didn't make it, but y'all told me I'm going to get myself in order. Okay. As soon as I step into Cartagena, we got some things to see. Please do not forget to subscribe to Dr. Crystal's channel. Remember, she's doing sabbatical life. She gonna get you right. If you think about that sabbatical, she gonna give you some ideas. Her information is linked in the description box. In addition, y'all, please subscribe to my channel too. Our channel is growing. Okay, we are doing the thing, and we are almost at 700 subscribers. Y'all are doing fantastic subscribing. Once we get to 1,000, we need to have a party. Okay, y'all have done a great job subscribing. I'm really happy that you all are enjoying my videos and content. So in the comment section, if you learned something about Cartagena, if you lived there, if you visited, tell us what you did in Cartagena. Or if you've never been, what is a place that you would like to go in Cartagena? Now, if you want to learn more, Crystal, Claude, and I have a live that we did about Cartagena, Colombia. I'm going to link that above for you. Check out our video. We already have another video, and we did country scouting. So we're going to tell you the pros and cons of living in Cartagena. This video is about visiting. That video is about living. So definitely, I need you to check that out. So our next video is going to be about Asia. My mama has asked me in January. She was like, can you talk about your experience in Asia? And I'm like, so sorry, girl. I'm backed up with so much content, but now I can finally fulfill the request from my mama. So I have you. Our next video is about my experiences in Asia, and that will be posted at the end of July. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I love giving y'all information. I love talking about Black history, and I love having the presence of Black women on this channel. I hope everyone is doing well and that you have a fantastic rest of your month. And I look forward to seeing you for the next video. Thank you again for always supporting my content. Please like, please subscribe, please comment, and keep watching my videos. More to come. Talk to you later. Bye.